We're here at the Gateshead International Stadium, the English Schools Athletics Championships into their 9th decade. They are a bit of an annual health check on the future of British athletics and on the evidence of the last 2.5 hours or so. It's in very fine fettle. The Olympics next year, but here we're looking very much at the stars of tomorrow and beyond. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 Olympic champions out there. We may have seen 1 or 2 already today. Stuart, we've seen some outstanding performances already, haven't we?
Yes, we certainly have. We've had several. Jessica Judd in particular, Emilia Goretzka certainly in the distance races. Mick Wood's stable standing up well in this afternoon of schools competition. Much enjoyed by this crowd, and of course lots of mums and dads and coaches all sprinkled through this, well, both stands really, back in the back straight and in the home straight. And well, let's go and have a look and see what's happening in the pole vault now, and join Mick Hill.
And here we are, we're just going to look at the medalists again. There's been some great competitions, but here we see Charlie Smith, first attempt at 450. You see they're bathed in the sunlight on the back straight there. And again, that's a massive clearance from Charlie Smith. His PB's 460, the bar's at 450, and looks like there was much more to come there. Superb clearance. And there you see, almost tipped it with his chest, but clear at 450. Unfortunately for Charlie, though, he couldn't go any higher, and his PB equal in distance he had 3 failures at. And here's Aaron Kay. He's from Essex. He's got a PB of 490, and this is his 3rd attempt at 460. So a very accomplished vaulter, very good on the run-up, carries the pole well, and that is absolutely miles over the bar. Let's look at this vault again. That is an absolutely superb clearance. He's cleared that by about a foot. So that was at 460. His PB is 490, and I'm sure that jump was about 490. Unfortunately, Aaron he passed 470, went to this height 480 and had 3 fails. And this is Mark Longhurst. He also had a PB of 490. And there we go, he sails over 480, and that was good enough for the gold medal for Mark. So there we go, and again, very well clear over the bar, but obviously the guys are getting the timing a little bit wrong. That's superb clearance. Good enough for the gold medal for the Kent athlete, and there you see 480, 2nd attempt. He'll be very happy as he drives home, the long trip home to Kent this evening.
I think we can update you now on the result of that junior boys 200 metres that we saw just a while ago. Miles Richardson, look at that for a close finish, just 3/100ths of a second, 22.41. Ryan Lee from Leicester running far inside, from lane 3, getting the silver medal at 22.44. Incidentally, both of those personal best, just against a slight headwind of 0.7 metres per second, with Thomas Summers, who we featured at the beginning, from North Yorkshire this time, 22.70 in 3rd place.
Georgia Atkins is the defending champion in this senior girls 100-metre hurdles, but she's yet to hit her best form in 2011. What better place to do it, though, than this? Atkins in lane 8. She'll be nearest to the stand here, not the best draw. But she has the class, perhaps, if she can rediscover the form that won her the title in Birmingham 12 months ago. She has the form, she has the ability to dig deep and perhaps find that form that won her the title in Birmingham. Well, it's a good lineup. Look out for Holly Thomas of Essex. She's in lane 3 in outstanding form, coached by the former British international Tony Jarrett. But we're going to go through from the inside. There's Jessica McCabe, just practicing a few runs to that first hurdle, wearing 77. This is all part of the routine for sprint hurdlers. This is something you used to do in years gone by, Stuart. So important, isn't it? Get the mindset right and just have a few pops over that first hurdle.
Yeah, it certainly does. You've got a stride pattern to the first hurdle, and the important thing is to establish the tenor of the race, establish a rhythm. If you can get to that first hurdle first, then, well, you're in a great shape, and you at least put a little bit of pressure on the rest. Brogan Crowley there, she's from West Yorkshire, but it is about good sprinting and making room for these hurdles. It's not about jumping them, you've just got to make room for them. So good sprinters and good flexible hurdlers will prevail.
I remember the great late commentator Ron Pickering used to talk about modified sprinting, didn't he? And that's exactly what sprint hurdling is about. Holly Thomas there of Essex in lane 3, coached by Tony Jarrett. Didn't finish in the 80-metre hurdles. That was last year, so she'll be looking to stay on her feet here. Rebecca Brown of Devon, the Exeter Harrier, in lane 4, 4th last week in the English Championships down in Bedford. Her first year in the age group. Kelly Clark, City of Sheffield, South Yorkshire here, the Northern champion in lane 5, 14:48 she's run this season, ranked 6 in Great Britain. Lane 6 should have featured Rebecca Liddell, but she's not here. In lane 7 is Gabriella Adi Onajobi of Kent, the Cambridge Harrier, 3rd in the recent Southern Under-20 Championships. And there is Georgia Atkins, looking very happy with herself. She'll be grateful just to be here, I think. Didn't finish in that Bedford final last week, so there are question marks about her fitness, question marks about her form, but she comes here as the defending champion.
On your marks.
So it's McCabe, Crowley, Thomas, Brown, Clark, Adi Onajobi and Atkins. Lane 6 is vacant. Thomas in 3, Brown in 4 and Atkins in lane 8. Probably the lanes to keep an eye out for.
Set.
Well, there was a good break on this side from Atkins, the defending champion, but Adi Onajobi's getting past her as well. 4th on the right, Becky Brown, wearing the colours there of Devon's, having a good run. Alongside her, Thomas, but nearest to the camera here, Atkins, the defending champion, and she's defended it in style. She's answered all the questions. She didn't finish last week, and she has yet to find her best form this year until now, and I don't think she knows she's won it. That's how close it was. There were girls over on the far side of the track who were having good runs, but now the smile has appeared, and look at this. The lunge of a champion, and it looks like Anna Onajobi who's got silver, and perhaps over on the far side, was it Holly Thomas who got the bronze?
Well, not a great start by anyone really, but certainly probably Adi Onajobi will look the better of the two at this stage. And right on the far side, just right at the top of the picture, look at the way in which the defending champion comes through. Well done, Georgia. That really was nice. Look at this. Good trail leg. You've got to get that trail leg through fast to get the lead leg down. That's what makes that lead leg come down quickly. Doesn't have to lean forward into him. The hurdles are not high enough. But that is a very, very good run indeed. What a way to come back. 14:24. I would think that would be into a headwind. It would have to be at that with that time, but certainly confirmed with Rebecca Liddell coming into 3rd place. And I'm very, very well. It can't be Liddell. She wasn't down on the. No, she didn't start. Absolutely, it's got to come up onto the computer. But let's have a little word from the winner of that hurdles race. She came in, no real form. She was defending her title, and she did it from the outside lane.
Georgia, there's something about being a champion, being able to deal with adversity. So your form hasn't been probably as good as you'd like. You didn't have the best lane draw, and yet you've won.
I don't know what to say. The whole thing's kind of a bit of a blur. My heat wasn't fantastic yesterday. I've had a bit of trouble with injuries in the past few months. I came out today. I was glad to be in the final. Just thought, give it my all. It's my last year here, and it went really well. I'm really happy.
And what do you think made the difference for you? Because it was so close, but you came away as the victor.
I don't know what it was, really. I mean, I just tried my best to give it that little bit extra. It's my last competition this year, so I just tried to give it all my all, really.
And what does it mean to you to actually defend your title?
It means everything to defend my title. I mean, it was hard last year. This year came back. Obviously, there's always that added bit of pressure, but no, it felt really good.
Clearly, you're very mentally tough. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, 2011 has been a rocky road for Georgia Atkins until now. And as she said there, her heat didn't go well. She's been struggling with injury. She didn't finish a big race a week ago in Bedford. But here, knowing that she was defending her title, the gold medal which she won a year ago in Birmingham. She dug deep and she found it, and that's what being a real champion's all about. Virtually no win, 14-24. She's back to the sort of form that produced the title last year, and now she says it's my last race of the season. What a way to finish. Ada Onajobi, the early leader from Kent, picks up silver, 14.30, and Holly Thomas of Essex picks up bronze. So once again, 2 medals for Essex in a sprint.
Well, now we've got the intermediate boys 100-metre hurdles final, and they've got Christian Gads of Hertfordshire drawn in 1, Robbie Claricoats of Essex in 2, Jordan Auburn of Sussex in 3, Nick Baker of London in 4, James Taylor of Staffs in 5, Max Everest in Cambridgeshire in lane 6, Daniel Searle of Surrey in 7, and Nick Wilson of West Midlands in lane 8. Well, lane 1, Christian Gads. I was second in the 80-metre hurdles in 2009. He's come through with a personal best of 13.67, which he achieved in the heat. So he's feeling a bit confident here. He'd probably need a bit more than that to prevail here, though. So Claricoats of Essex drawn in lane 2, 13.73. Another athlete that achieved a personal best in the semi-final, won the Essex Schools title. Lane 3. Personal best of 13.13 in the semi-final, and that puts him in at the top of the UK rankings, actually. That's Jordan Auburn in the yellow top of Sussex, and outside him from London, wearing 49 in the black strip of London, won the London Schools, 13.44, another one personal best in the semi-final. So conditions have really allowed the good performances here. And James Taylor of Staffordshire in the 5th lane, won the 80-metre hurdles in 2009, 13.25 personal best in semi-final, so he's done very well. So Max Everett of Cambridgeshire in the 6th lane, 13.23, another personal best. In fact, the next 3 all achieved a personal best, so in the semi-finals the times were absolutely superb. That is Danny Searle of Surrey, 13.79 semi-final, won the Surrey Schools, and he's drawn in the 7th lane, and right on the outside is Nick Wilson of the West Midlands, and he's got a best of 13.53. As I said, the last 3, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just going through the list, 6, 7 personal bests in these championships, which is pretty good. Well, probably Jordan Auburn, the favourite with that semi-final time. He's very much in form at the moment. As I said, he's top of the UK rankings this year already with that time. And we shall see how it goes here. It doesn't always go with the form book, does it? These barriers in the way, 10 barriers. So Gads, Claricoats, Auburn, Baker, Taylor, Everest, Searle and Wilson, the intermediate boys 100-metre hurdles final. The favourite, Jordan Auburn. Will he prevail? Deep in concentration. Just sitting, standing, waiting for the instruction to move. These are nervous moments. Each individual preparation, some with blocks, some without, some at different stages of development in their event. Nevertheless, they made the final. And now, who will be the champion? Being hit, and also Everest coming through very strongly, and Everest gets it. Everest gets it, and Auburn in second place. What about that? Well, Max Everest of Cambridge, now what is it, 13.17, and that is a new personal best. He said his personal best in the semi-final of 13.23, but Everest came through so strongly in the end, he really did, to take the title, and he truly deserved it. Bit of a power run, And when he came through, he's a little bit of a celebration. He wasn't the favourite on time, but I said at the very beginning, this is a championship. It's about racing. It's about seeing who prevails. There's the young fellow who came in with the fastest time, wearing 79, Jordan Alban. Very much faster than the others, a tenth faster on qualification. And this time, look at that, he's so disappointed he let that go. But there's the champion on the left in the light blue of Cambridgeshire from the Peterborough Club.
Well, it was a bit of a demolition derby at times. Look at the men over on the far side there in lanes 7 and 8. Searle and Wilson, they put themselves out of the race very early indeed. But Everest in lane 6 wasn't distracted. There were other men who hit hurdles here. But look at the hurdling of the champion, Max Everest. It was a pretty clear round. Very tidy technique. Look at the arms. They're not windmilling around. There are 1 or 2 windmills there in the background. And it's the fella from Epsom, or should I say from Peterborough, who finished 6th in this final last year, who has gone rather better this time around, and he has taken the title.
Well, it's good to see a young man who's lost, having been the favourite, grimacing because he isn't satisfied. No excuses, but this fella, tall, very powerful, and I have to say that was a very, very good run indeed. He is taller than the others, and in fact he just made room for those hurdles. He's obviously quick on the flat too. So a very, very commendable run. Well, Mark, I wonder what Max Everest has got to say about that.
Well, Max, the thing about the sprint hurdles is a really unforgiving race, and you kept your composure and absolutely executed it to perfection. How does it feel?
I don't know what to say really. I just got these very nervous at the beginning. I've got 2 of the guys that are brilliant hurdlers, and I just sort of went out for it, just gave it all. My heats and semis weren't quite aggressive enough, so I just went out for it, gave it everything. There we go.
And it seemed to mean so much to you. So you gave it such a mighty leap. Once you crossed the finishing line, you could have perhaps entered the high jump as well. So what does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, this is all I wanted to achieve this year. I'm missing the Triple A's because of a trip to Malawi, so I mean I just wanted to nail the English schools and just try and do as well as I could in this, and I can't really don't know what to say.
Well, you are the champion, it's real, congratulations.
Yes, good running there from Max Everett. Anything around 13 seconds for the 100-metre hurdles is good running indeed, so congratulations to him. I'm joined by Catherine Merry again. Catherine, have you been impressed with the quality of the athletics on display today?
Very much so. You only have to look at some of the records that have been broken today, some of the heights that they're jumping or the distances they're throwing, and on the track especially we've seen some very quick running as well, haven't we? And that's what we like. And there's been a mixture though, hasn't there? There have been athletes that have delivered because they were supposed to win and they've stand up and delivered, and then there's the surprise performances where some athletes haven't delivered as well as they should have done. So a real mixture, but overall the quality so far is very, very good indeed.
Now, every athlete here will dream about one day doing what you've achieved, being an Olympic medalist. So what are the factors that ultimately dictate whether an athlete goes from being a great athlete at the English schools to being a great senior athlete?
A lot's the mindset, isn't it, John? A lot of it is, do the athletes believe that they are good enough to challenge the rest of the world? Because it's a big place, as we know, there's a lot of athletes vying for those big titles, isn't there? But mindset's a big, big part of it. And of course, they have to be nurtured right. They need to be in the good situations. They need to have the good people around them, the coaches, the clubs, and the team managers today are just the start of that. But no, there's a lot to it, of course. But if they can come here and deliver good performances, which so many athletes have done today, then they are really setting themselves on a really good platform.
Is that transition to senior athletics easier now than ever, though? Because we've got better facilities, we've got lottery funding, we've got full-time paid coaches. So is it easier now to make the transition than, for example, it was when you were this age?
Possibly, because there are a lot more age championships now, so athletes can go to World Youth Championships. We have, the under-20 championships and under-23 championships. So the sport has made it easier for athletes to progress towards the big senior stage. But then you have to have the right mentality still, don't you? You have to have it between the ears. You have to be able to deliver when it matters, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Delivering performances when it matters, and so many of the athletes here today have impressed and done that.
You talk about the right attitude. I mean, it's clear that all the athletes really care about today's events. I mean, it really matters to them. A lot of pressures on these young shoulders. They're coping well, but it must overwhelm some of them.
I think it does. I think we've seen with a lot of the interviews that Mark's done straight after, we see such a contrast, don't we, with the confident athletes that say, this is what I came to do and I've delivered and speak very well, and then the nervous athletes that I don't really know what to say. And I love that. And that's what's so great about the English schools, because you get so many different personalities. There's so many, even at this age, different levels of confidence. But you have every type of athlete here, don't you? And that's what they're going to have when they get to the seniors, hopefully. A lot of different athletes, a lot of different personalities.
It certainly is a great event. Thanks for now. Let's get back to the action now. Next event on the track actually is one that I'm particularly interested in. Senior boys 110 metre hurdles. So it's back to our commentary team.
Well, just update the result of that last race before that, and I'll then comment further on the hurdles. There it is, Max Everest, 13.16 into a 1.3 metre per second headwind. So Jordan Auburn of Sussex, 13.27 in second, and James Taylor of Staffs, 13.28 in lane 3. Well, John Ridgeon's record in the high hurdles went last year, and mine went a long time ago, having won this title in 1961. I can just about remember.
50 years ago. Where did it all go wrong, Stu? Just a week after, Needham, Kelk and Gladman lined up alongside one another at the English Under-20 Championships. They meet again in this, the final of the senior boys 110 metre hurdles. Those barriers, 3'3". They're pretty tall, aren't they?
It's a great event, this. It's a real tester. And this James Gladman of Cheshire, one of the 3 sub-14 men, and they're all side by side in this. And you've got to be a pretty good sprinter. You've got to attack these hurdles. You've got your 8 strides to the first hurdle, and then you've got to really work off the hurdle, and 3 strides in between them to newcomers to the event.
And Ben Kelk there, you can see in the middle of the picture, he knows exactly what the dangers are that are lurking with those 3'3" barriers. He ran in that final in Bedford last week, the England Under-20s. He was disqualified. It is an unforgiving event. Make one mistake here and there simply is no time to get it back. Jake Porter nearest to the picture, wearing the colours of West Midlands. So it's a good, clean start. Ford has got away well, but it's right in the middle. Look at Kelk there in the sky blue of Cambridgeshire. Alongside him is Needham of Greater Manchester, and also Gladman's having a decent run, but it's going to be Kelk. He's redeemed himself for that defeat last week when he was disqualified in Bedford, and he's come through 13.72, his lifetime best. Some way short of that here, but that will matter not. He is the English schools champion.
Yeah, it was a good run. He really held it together in technical terms. He's allowing himself a little bit of a smile now, but that Ben Kelk run from Cambridge was a good one. 14.05 it's given, and he really got away in the end from Danny Needham, who was challenging for most of the race, and took James Gladman with him in second place. So let's just have a look from the start, head on. Head down. You've got to look up a little earlier in the hurdles. Then you start attacking the hurdles. Nothing much in it, although Gladman hit the hurdle on the first hurdle. It doesn't affect if you get it with the left leg. But look how off balance Gladman is on the left of the shot there. Now they start to sprint away. Lovely technique from these youngsters, and particularly Ben Kelk. Ben Kelk's going really well. Comes off the hurdle well. His trail leg is terrific. It really is terrific. Wonderful stuff. Another look at this. First hurdle first. Who gets there? Well, Gladman under pressure. A little bit of faltering, but there's a hit hurdle by Needham, and that's where it all changed, and this was the clean hurdling of Ben Kelk that took him away. Little lean into the hurdle, lovely hurdling technique, very fluent, and he's obviously got a basic good speed over 100 metres or so.
Well, we talk so much about technique, Stuart, but also flexibility, and it's demonstrated here. And when you're a young athlete, you're a young hurdler in particular, you've got to hit that flexibility hard during the winter. They all spend hours and hours working on their flexibility, which enables them to pull that trail leg through just like that. And Ben Kelk there showing outstanding technique. Gladman's a little bit more rough and ready. The arms are everywhere. And it's the superior technician in the end who prevails, and he takes the title. And that's the look of a happy and perhaps even slightly relieved man. Well, he's the senior boys 110-metre hurdles champion. In a couple of moments' time, back here in Gateshead, we'll learn who is going to be the senior girls one-lap champion. The 400 metres is next.